In this video, we're going to show you how to register for the KYTSA conference. Once we go out to the KentuckyTSA.org website, we're going to go to conferences, drop down to KYTSA conference, take you to this page with our conference logo at the top. We'll scroll down to conference registration, click register here. Then we're going to come over here and click conference registration, and then you'll need to log in with your username and password that has been emailed to you recently. Once we go to that page, it's going to take us out to a page that looks similar to this, although you may not have any students listed. Keep in mind that all your students and advisors are being pulled from the national TSA database. So if you have not registered your students on the national side, they will not show up in this system. So you'll need to go to the national website, add your students in over there, then come back to the state conference website. And you will see your students as you come down here to add students. So you can see I have added myself as a chapter advisor for my school. I can come over here and edit. I can change if I want a t-shirt or if I don't. Keep in mind these chapter advisors, you'll get your t-shirt and your lapel pin, and those will be shipped to your school. I can also change my shirt size here as well. For students, it's going to be very similar. So if I come down here to add students, you can see I've already added these 4 students, but let's say I want to add another student. So I can just simply click search here, and it's going to list all of my students that are rostered in the national database. Now, if you have a bunch of students rostered, maybe 300 or so, it may be easier for you to type in their name and then search for them that way instead of looking through the entire list. The nice thing about this list is I can simply go in and I can register all of my students very quickly. So I just need to pick their t-shirt size. I need to pick what grade level they're in. I need to pick their gender, and I need to pick what type of student they are. So if they're a state officer, I'm going to register them as such. If they're a regular student member just going to compete, I'm going to pick that. Or if they're a voting delegate, I can choose that as well. So every school needs to have at least 2 voting delegates. Some schools receive 3 voting delegates, and that's based on our bylaws, and we'll talk more about that in another video. So I'm just going to select Derek as a regular student member, and you do the same thing for every other student that's going to be competing and participating in this conference. Once I'm done with that, it takes me out and it shows me just to confirm that I selected the right shirt sizes, I selected the right status, so these are students, these are voting delegates. And so now I'm going to go back to the registration list. So now you can see Derek exists. Derek is registered as a student member. Derek has 0 competitions, and Derek has not bought any extra things, you can see. So the next thing I want to do is maybe Derek wants to buy a decal. So we're going to put in 1 for Derek, and we can click save. So you'll see that Derek now has a $3 charge for that decal, and that will be shipped to your school, as well as Derek's t-shirt and lapel pin. After you've purchased items for any students, now we're going to edit and select events. So I'm logged in now as a chapter advisor, and I'm looking at Derek specifically as a student. So Derek, you can see everything is still set up the way I did it originally. Derek is going to compete in animatronics, and Derek is going to be on team 1. So this is a high school that I've created just to show you as an example, but the same is true at the middle school level. And something brand new this year, because we're doing online submission, is you need to designate a team captain for each team event. So I'm going to say Derek is the team captain. And what that means is Derek is now responsible for submitting the online digital submissions for their animatronics team. So you can only designate 1 team captain, and that's going to be Derek in this case. And then Derek's also going to compete in, let's say, coding, and Derek's also going to compete in essays. Once again, coding being a team event, he's going to be on team 1, and in this case, let's say Derek is not the team captain. Let's say the other student on his team is going to be designated the team captain. So if I come down and I save that for Derek, now I'm going to go into Brianna, and Brianna should be a female, so I can change that here very quickly. And Brianna is also on Derek's team for animatronics, but she is not the team captain. However, Brianna and Derek are going to be on the same team for coding, so I'm going to leave this as team 1. And Brianna is going to be the team captain, so they're kind of sharing the load. Brianna is going to be responsible for coding. Derek will be responsible for animatronics. And we can scroll on down and we can save that as well. So at any time, if you want to check to make sure you have things set up right, you can see that Ben is registered for 3 events, Trey is registered for 3 events, Brianna for 2, Alexis for 3, Alexis is 0, and I have Derek registered for 3 events. You can always check to make sure you have things set up right by simply clicking View Registration, and it's going to give you some errors. So my pay type needs to be fixed. Animatronics must have 2 to 6 entries. So I need to fix that for team number 2. Board game design, I had an error, and then I need to designate a team captain. So this system is going to help you as you register your students. And then you can see the registration list that I've created is down below. So at any time you want to make sure that you have team set up correctly, team captain set up correctly, you can always view registration. If you don't have any errors, then you are good to go. And you could go ahead and submit your registration at any time. If you have any more questions, Andy Stevenson or myself, Mark Harrell, are available to answer any questions that you may have as you register.